Hey everybody, this is a hip opening yoga sequence. It's excellent to build flexibility in the hips, and it's perfect for all levels. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to use 2 yoga blocks. If you have yoga blocks, that's great. You should definitely use them. If you don't have yoga blocks, I would recommend just using the really thick book or 2. I'm trying to think what else would work for a yoga block, but I think a book is a really good option. Come into a comfortable seated position. If this is really tough for you to sit tall here, you can take a block and just put it underneath the sits bones. You want to sit on the edge of the yoga block rather than way back, and this will help bring a forward tilt in the pelvis so you can sit tall and just start with some good foundation. So sit tall and bring your hands to your lap. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your stomach. Just take a deep breath in as you close your eyes. As you exhale, exhale through the mouth with a sigh, letting all of the air empty. And take another deep breath in through the nose. And exhale fully with a sigh. Last time, same thing. Inhale. Exhale with a sigh. Bring your hands down to your lap. Begin to breathe in and out through your nose. And as you connect with your breath, let go of anything that happened earlier. Any plans you have for later, just let everything go. Let the mind be really calm and quiet. And decide that when thoughts come to you, and they likely will, just let them go without paying any attention to them. Hip opening can bring up a lot of emotions for some people. Some people get really frustrated, some people get really angry, some people have like really intense emotional reactions to hip opening practices. So perhaps make an intention that if this happens to you, you'll just let whatever happens bubble up naturally without giving it any emotional energy, without reacting to whatever happens. Quietly open your eyes. Look down at your feet, and you want to bring your left foot out in front slightly. From here, take your fingertips down to the ground and just begin to spider your fingertips forward. It doesn't really matter how far you go. Maybe you can reach the arms all the way out, or maybe you're just here because you already feel something. So you should feel it like right here. And when you feel something, pause there. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe, ripple up through your spine, get as long as you can out through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, maybe come forward just a little bit more, just exploring possibility. Not worrying about any end goal or any place where you think you should be. And just play with the breath, letting it move you. Letting it comb through any tensions that you have. And then when you're in a good place, plant your fingertips on the ground and then gently push the ground away from you. And as you do this, you'll notice your sits bones will come down towards the mat. We want to keep the hips on the mat. So if you feel yourself starting to lift up, just push back to connect to the ground. You want to try to keep the heart open, so avoid rounding the upper back too much. And on the next inhale, rise up until you have long arms, spine is long. Then we're going to walk the hands over to the right, trying to keep the left hip on the ground. Take a deep breath in, ripple up through the spine. Exhale, melt forward. Just soften into whatever it is you feel. Making sure to always stay within a pain-free range and noticing the difference between what feels like pain and what feels like just tightness in the body. As you inhale, rise up, ripple up through the spine. And we'll take the hands to the center and over to the left. Go as slow or as quick as you need to. As you inhale, elongate the spine. As you exhale, melt forward. And as you inhale, rise up and come back to center. From here, walk the hands back behind you. Press the hands into the ground behind you. Lift your hips, lift your heart, let your head go if that's okay for your neck. Reach out through your chest. As you exhale, come down. You're going to bring the right foot out in front just a little bit so you can bring the left foot in towards the pelvis, right foot out. Sit up tall. Again, if you're on your yoga block, that's cool. Take the fingertips down, walk them forward. And just explore how this hip feels. So some people have one hip that's like really, really tight, and some people have really open hips. It really doesn't matter. As you inhale, rise up, ripple up through the spine, and as you exhale, melt forward, then press your fingertips into the ground to keep the hips on the ground. Intend to keep your heart open and stay connected with your breath. As you inhale, rise up. Walk the hands over to the left, keeping the right hip on the ground. Elongate the spine, rise up, open up the heart. Exhale, melt forward. And then scan your body, noticing if you're holding tension somewhere. In the shoulders, in between the eyebrows, are you clenching your teeth? Find any pockets of tension and send the breath there to release. As you inhale, rise up, walk to the center and then over to the right. Ripple up through the spine, exhale, melt forward. Press the fingertips into the ground so that your left hip doesn't lift up. As you inhale, come back to center. Slide the hands back behind you, press the hands into the ground. Lift the pelvis, lift the heart, let the head go if that's okay for your neck. As you inhale, gently come down and extend the legs out in front of you. Now again, if you're really tight in the hamstrings, sitting on a block is a really great option because you get a little bit more length, and then your pelvis is tilted forward so you can come forward and you'll notice that your stretch is in the hamstrings. So use a block if you're intending to stretch and you're like stuck here, because you can see my back is rounding and now the stretch is in my back and not in my hamstrings. If I can tilt my pelvis forward and elongate my spine and come forward, now my stretch is in the hamstrings. So that's what we're gonna do. Remove the flesh from underneath the sits bones. Take the feet hip distance, activate the legs, pick the kneecaps up, then bring your hands down wherever they reach. So maybe that's the shins, maybe it's the first two fingers around the big toes, maybe it's up over tops of the feet. Doesn't really matter. What's important here is that you lift your heart, elongate your spine, and then use the breath to come on down. So feel free to take your time getting there. There's no real end goal. Check in with your shoulders, relax them away from your ears. Check in with your gaze. You always want to be out in front, looking on the ground about a foot or so in front of you. And you can play with what your feet do. So the feet can be flexed, the pinky toes pointing back towards your face. You can wiggle your toes just to see what kind of impact that makes on your legs. Shake your head from side to side and let go of any tension in the back of the neck. you inhale, rise up. Take the hands back behind you, fingers pointed in towards the body. Spread the fingers as much as you can. Bring your feet halfway back. Toes pointed away from you. And then lift up by pressing into the feet, pressing into the hands. Let the head go if that's okay for your neck. Take a deep breath here. And as you exhale, gently come down. Extend the left leg and cross the right leg over the left. So the right foot comes down. We're going to hug the knee and sit as tall as you can. On your next inhale, take your right hand back behind you. Press just the fingertips down. Then lift your left arm, reach as high as you can. Then hook the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Initiate your twist from the navel and begin to look out over your right shoulder. Sit as tall as you can, and with each exhale, twist a little bit more and a little bit more, trying to get your left eye all the way around. So looking with your left eye out over your right shoulder. As you inhale, come back to center. I'm going to pick the right shin up, maybe bring it into the elbow crease. Now this is pretty intense for a lot of people, so if you're not here yet, bring your hands underneath the shin and just sit as tall as you can. So intend to keep that chest lifted. Spread the right toes. If you're here, just sit as tall as you can. You can even rock side to side. Make sure to flex the foot so that the ankle doesn't sickle, and then when you're ready, release. Interlace the fingers around the bottom of the foot, and then just begin to press out of the bottom of the foot. So it doesn't matter if your leg straightens completely or not. You just want to begin to press. The most important thing here is to keep the heart lifted. So what we don't want is to look like this. We want to be heart lifting, leg pressing, just seeing what happens. If your leg straightens, you can begin to pull the leg back towards your face. And we'll take it over to the other side. So extend the right leg, cross the left foot over top, sit really tall. Spread the right toes. Breathe into the back of the left hip. Take your left fingertips back behind you and reach your right arm up to the sky. Initiate your twist from the navel as you hook the right elbow to the left knee. Look out over your left shoulder with your right eye. You inhale, come back to center. You're gonna lift the left shin. Option to go under the shin like this. Just trying to keep the chest lifted, or bringing the foot into the elbow crease, interlacing the fingers and sitting really tall. Option to stay still here or rock side to side. Whatever feels best for you, do that. Intending to keep the left foot flexed, left toes spread, so that we're being really mindful of the ankle. And then from here, we'll interlace the fingers underneath the foot, trying to keep the heart lifted. Begin to press out of the bottom of the foot. Doesn't matter if the leg straightens or not. If it does, begin to pull the leg in with your arms using the strength of your biceps. When you're ready, gently release. Find the edge of your yoga mat. So I like doing the short edge of the mat. Bring your right shin so it's parallel with the edge of your yoga mat. So sometimes this is hard for people. So really look and make sure that you know what parallel is, and make your right shin parallel to the short edge of your mat. From here, cross your left foot over top of your right knee. And if you're really tight in the hips, it's likely that your leg will be up like this. And if that's the case, don't worry about it. Don't judge yourself or get down on yourself about it. It just means that your hips are tight, and with more practice, they'll open up. If your hips are open, the knee will stack on top of the foot, and that's great. If the knee's back here, see if you can manipulate the legs and the position of your pelvis to stack. So the foot and the knee, everything is stacked. Then sit as tall as you can and begin to spider your fingers forward. If you have a block, go ahead and grab hold of your block or two, sit them tall. And you can just come out and set your forearms down. When you feel something in your hips, you'll feel it right here. When you feel something, stop, pause, and explore, making sure that you're being safe and you're not in any realm of pain. Take a deep breath in, elongate your spine. As you exhale, melt your heart forward. As you do that, you may be able to turn your blocks. Close your eyes. And imagine that with each breath, you're able to comb through the tightness that you're experiencing in your hips. Stay wherever you are. If you're able to come down, you can even use the blocks on your forehead. Just try to be as effortless as you can here. If your leg, your hip is speaking to you, listen. Send breath there. Honor how you feel. But resist the urge to come out if it's not actually pain. If it's just tightness, try to stay here and breathe just a couple breaths more. On your next inhale, slowly, slower than you want to go, begin to release the pose. Bring one hand to the knee, one hand to the foot. Activate that foot, lift up, and release the leg. You can extend your legs, just gently shake them out. And from here, we'll take it to the other side. So find the edge of your mat, take your left shin so it's parallel, and then really look and make sure that your left shin is parallel to the short edge of the mat. From here, take your right foot on top of the left knee. If your hips are really tight, your legs might be up like this, and that's just how it is. Breathe there. If your legs are more open, you can stack your knee on top of the left foot and then position your pelvis and your legs so that you have a triangle. When you're ready, sit tall, bring the fingertips down to the ground. And as you inhale, get long in the spine, and as you exhale, come forward. Use your blocks to set the forearms down. And just try to be as effortless as you can here. So I always talk about with flexibility, there's no real quick fix. You kind of have to do the work and breathe a lot and just sit there and let the body open. So oftentimes this can be kind of uncomfortable. When you're in an uncomfortable situation, whether you're on the mat or off the mat, see if you can find a pocket where you can like hide in and find a little sense of peace or comfort within the discomfort. Because oftentimes it's worth it. It will help you in yoga, it'll help your body to open up if you're working on flexibility. So find your little pocket of comfort and begin to breathe, making sure that you're fully connected to your breath, making your inhales and exhales of equal length, combing through the tension, combing through the tightness, using your breath. As you inhale, begin to rise up. Go slower than you want to go. Be really mindful, really gentle. Grab hold of the foot and the knee. Activate the foot so you're protecting the ankle. Gently lift, extend the legs, and shake them out. From here, come to lie down on the ground. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Then bring the hands to the tops of the shins. Bring your shins parallel to the ground. As you take a deep breath in, open up the knees, activating the feet. Spreading the toes, closing your eyes. With each exhale, feel your arms pull your legs open a little bit more, as if the ground is like pulling gravity, using gravity to pull your legs down. With each exhale, soften a little bit more. And as you inhale, gently press your knees together. Extend the left leg, pull the right knee in towards your chest. Then cactus the right arm and pull the right knee up and over the body to the left and look out over your right shoulder. With each exhale, try to get the right knee and the right shoulder further towards the ground, but don't worry if they're not completely there. Imagine that with each exhale, you're wringing out your body a lot like you would wring out a wet washcloth. And with each exhale, just let go of anything you're holding onto that's no longer serving you. As you inhale, come back to center. Extend the right leg. Invite the left knee in towards the shoulder, in towards the chest rather. Pull the knee in. Take the right hand to the top of the shin and pull the leg up and over your body. Cactus the left arm, look out over your left shoulder. As you inhale, come back to center. Take the legs mat distance. Open up the arms, bring the palms up to the sky. Close your eyes and begin to prepare for final Shavasana. Scan your body and just let stillness prevail. Let go of your Ujjayi breath, let your breathing come naturally. I'm going to be here for about 5 minutes and I'll let you know when Shavasana is complete. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, and then roll over to your right side. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, press and sit up into a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands to your heart, close your eyes. Just take a moment to acknowledge your practice. Acknowledge how you feel. The light in me honors the light in you. Thanks so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.